it is getting cold outside.
Yeah, the temperature's dropping. We looked at the weather report and it's like, okay, we have Arctic weather coming in for a nice cold snap. We got to be prepared. All right, so when you live in Canada,
today's the day,
and you look at the weather reports, you know, we're planning on taking Bessie and going to a campground
in a month.
Yeah, just a month from now. So we're like, we don't need to skirt because like the weather's fine until you look at the weather report and it changes.
Yeah, there's going to be about a 3-day super cold spell. I mean, super cold for this area of the country.
And super cold for Bessie.
And definitely that. So we have to skirt. And you know what? We thought, why not? We've already got the material.
Yeah.
We already promised you we would show you what it looks like to skirt the rig.
We had the materials.
So let's do this. All right, so here's the first thing. We have to figure out where we want to tape it.
Yes.
And how we're going to secure it to the ground so it doesn't just flap around in the wind.
So here's the idea. The material's right there. It's going to get taped to the side of the rig, right here, or right here, and across there. And it's going to go down underneath this 2x4 and get stapled to the 2x4. Okay? And that will be enough to make sure we don't go solid. So we also have our plumbing antifreeze, and what that's going to be for is the actual pipe underneath that joins to the sewer, and then our tanks will have some plumbing antifreeze into it also. So this rhino hose, if you step on it a number of times, it'll fail, okay? Trust me, you don't want to know how I know. But this will actually fail if you step on it. So I went to Home Depot and got some weeping tile. This is a 10-footer. And I ran it through the weeping tile, which gives it all of the strength that it needs to not get crushed when it gets stepped on. So to get it into my vehicle, I had to cut it in half. So I did, but because it has a joint in it, it still fits back together and it's no problem for transport. So that has worked great because now we can go from one side to the other and not have to avoid or cause damage to that sewer line.
Bessie has a skirt, and in true Kent and Lisa fashion, we installed it upside down. And inside out, which we did on purpose. We were hoping you wouldn't see the letters, but oh well, it is what it is. At least we'll stay warm and the wind will be cut from just whipping underneath the rig. And now Kent's gonna just cut around all of the, get your plumber's crack is showing. Oops. Anyway, now we just have to cut around all of the, like the door and the storage bays and all that kind of stuff. So now comes the tricky part. I'm just gonna do some cool samples. What we're working on there.
Take that stress off so that it hangs straight up. It's just working with plastic. Didn't even go all the way in. That was good. Didn't even go all the way in. That was better. Good.
Well, we've already put a skirt on the rig.
Yeah, so we took the poly and we did the skirt. I got to touch it up a little bit today. Now I have to unhook the sewer line. I have to, we've been struggling all day to keep the freshwater line coming in, flowing.
Yeah.
So I have to actually finish taking care of all that, which is check the white tank, make sure it's full. All of our emergency supplies, make sure they're full, and then disconnect all of that.
Emergency supplies, you mean like water?
Water.
So we make sure that we have extra water in case we need to flush a toilet or brush our teeth or make coffee.
Yeah.
Just in case something all freezes up, at least we have some water ready to go.
So it's all hands on deck. Let's get it prepared. And then I have to also, close the gray tank, unhook the sewer, and put some RV antifreeze down our black and gray tanks.
You are going to do that?
Yes, I am.
Do you think you'll need to do that even with the
It's going to go to minus 15, so I'm going to put some in there.
Okay. And what about a brooding lamp? Are you going to put heat underneath the rig?
No.
Okay.
Sounds good. If 4 days from now things look like they're really solid, I might put one under then.
Okay.
But not right now.
Sounds good.
So is there anything else we need to accomplish? We already took care of our dehumidifiers in our front cab, so that they're all working good to keep the moisture out of here.
Well, there's still lots of moisture in here because, with those dehumidifiers, you do have to empty them. If they get full, they stop working. So
and then you put more crystals.
Why is there so much water in here?
Those granules, they have to be reloaded, and I just did that.
The magic crystals?
The magic crystals.
Yes. Anyway, I think that's it. We just have to get all the water stuff is the main thing.
Yep.
So that it doesn't freeze solid.
And then stay warm.
Disconnect the rig from any sewer and water lines.
I emptied the black tank.
And then we are good to just cozy up and stay warm. Thankfully, it's only going to be a cold snap for a few days. It's not going to be months, because if it's months, then it's a whole different ball of wax.
You don't approach it this way at all.
No, this is just a temporary kind of get us through the cold snap. So for all of you Canadian RVers that are in the same storm as we are right now, stay warm, have coffee, and you know what? Do your best.
Also have emergency secondary supplies of heat. And then number 3, have a emergency plan.
Yes, definitely a backup plan in case everything falls apart.
If things all fail and you're like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
First of all, remember, everything's going to go solid. So fix that. Like lots of RV antifreeze to make sure your certain fixtures don't get solid. And then number 2, where are you going to go? Mm-hmm. All right. Have those plans in place just in case.
And we'll check in with you guys tomorrow or the next day when it gets super cold outside, because there's nothing more fun than going for a walk when it's really cold.
We like it, but you got to be prepared.
Cold. All right, see you in a bit.
One of the problems with this kind of skirting is strong wind, okay? So if it gets really strong out there, this might get compromised and I might have to fix it. But for now, it's good. Now I have to also determine where is the actual valve down there, cut a hole so I can reach in and close the gray tank valve. So this is what we did with our rig. We went all the way around it. Of course, we bought all of this skirting from Tom's, okay? Tom's, I guess that's where we got it from. There you go. And we did pretty good. Just basically, like we said, this is only for a few days, and then we're gonna go camping. So we're gonna tear this all down. That's how I did it. I wood down at the bottom, stapled it, and then I put another piece of wood on it just to keep it all in place. That tank's mostly empty, so I'm going to swap that out. Make sure you have lots of propane on hand so that you don't run out of your heat for the things you need propane for, like cooking. So as you can see, Bessie has a mask. Earlier today, the tap that I attached for fresh water to was frozen. So I want to avoid that. So I had to get a hair dryer on this in order to freeze it up so that this valve would work and also the tap would work, because neither of those were able to move because there was ice in here. All right, that water is shut off. Okay. All right, I shut off the fresh water and I realized that's not the first step, because I need to reattach a hose there and fill my freshwater tank. So I have to go turn that tap back on, fill my tank, then I can shut it all down. somewhere in here, I need to cut a hole so that I can get to the tap to shut off, or the pull to shut off the valve for the gray tank. So the skirting was a success. It was pretty windy last night and it still held pretty good. I piled 3 bales of hay at the very back. When the wind comes in, that's what gets hit first. So the actual bales will be there for about 5 days until that wind is pretty much gone, and so is the cold weather. But man, it's doing good.
And it is going to get cold.
Yeah, it is.
I just saw the forecast. It's supposed to get down to -20 here in the lower mainland. It almost never, well, that's with wind chill, but still, it's cold.
That's pipe busting cold.
It is. And we're so thankful that we got that skirt on. It's already made a huge difference.
Yeah, it is.
The first day that we had that done, within a couple of, but maybe the first hour even, all of a sudden the dog is like panting and I'm like, oh, it's hot in here.
But when the wind blows, it's loud.
Yeah, it is. But it's a good, cheap DIY. So we do recommend doing that if you have cold weather that you have to deal with.
Just to take care of a snap coming in through. And that's what we're doing.
But today is a beautiful day. It's chilly, but it's, look at this, you guys. It's gorgeous and sunny.
So we came and looked at the waterfall, and I want to come back in a couple days after it's been -20 and have a look at what the waterfall looks like then.
Oh, it's gonna be gorgeous with all the ice. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this week and for checking out this video and learning how to do a DIY skirt on your rig. My name is Lisa.
And my name is Kent, and we're living light RV.
We are grabbing life by the tail. We're staying warm. We hope you are too, you guys. And we'll see you next Thursday. Take care.
Thanks for watching today. Make sure you check out this video. It's one that I think you'll really like. It's from a while ago, but it's one of my favorite. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.